Hey guys, it's your girl 4cHairChick here, and I'm super excited to be back. I've got a new video for you, and today is story time. So I want to share with you how 4cHairChick all started, and in it I have a little lesson that may be helpful to some of you out there. So let's dive in. This is my journal, and I just wanted to write down the quote so I didn't forget. So when you don't think you're good enough, you will find people who are and attach yourself to them. When you don't think you're good enough, you will find people who are and you will attach yourself to them. So let me share with you a story. So I've moved a lot, and right after college, I had a great job opportunity with a cell phone carrier, and I took it. One thing led to another, and that led into an opportunity to move to Los Angeles. So I did. I moved to LA, not just for the job, but because my girlfriend and I at the time, we were starting a t-shirt company. And so it would be easier to connect with manufacturers in LA, so that was also part of my motivation. So I moved to Los Angeles, and here I was, big city, all this opportunity, and I started to get a little lost in the sauce. I'm somebody who has, in my younger years, I think I always struggled with self-esteem and confidence. Just really a huge people pleaser, and probably just too worried about what everybody thought about what I was doing. And in particular, things kind of came to a head for me when I was living in LA. So I was working for an awesome company. I worked in a really cool department, and my department had some really cool accounts, and things were really, really fun. But I started to value myself based on the job I had, based on where I worked, and based on the accounts we were working with. And it just became problematic. I didn't see it initially at the beginning, but I started to really feel it over time. So I had really attached myself to where I worked, to a place where if you met me at that time, the first thing I would do is tell you, hey, I work for such and such cell phone carrier. Or I'd find some way to weave it into the conversation so that you knew that I worked at this place. I don't know, every now and then I would talk about how busy we were, and I don't know, for me at that point in my life, everything was about work, and I just put so much value into work to a point where it became who I was, and I was losing a bit of myself in that process. Finally, I said to myself, you know what, it's time to really get in touch with myself and move on from this. So I went through the process of applying for a different position, and I moved from Los Angeles to Oklahoma. Which is its own story in and of itself. Let's just say I had a friend in college who was from Oklahoma, so that made me comfortable about the move. But I had never been to Oklahoma, never seen Oklahoma. I actually took the job and moved there sight unseen. So I get to Oklahoma, and here I am by myself in this place, and essentially it's kind of a clean slate. And I had decided that I didn't want to be obsessed and focused on who I knew and where I worked. I really wanted to get in touch with myself and figure out who was I, who was, you know, Trudy. So I started that whole process of just spending time with myself, putting myself in uncomfortable situations, stretching outside of my comfort zone. And it was around that time that I started 4cHairChick. I started 4cHairChick because I couldn't find anywhere to get my hair done in Oklahoma, and then I had a friend from LA who had gone natural while I was living in LA. And I just thought to myself, I can't find anyone to do my hair. Now's as good a time as any to go natural. I'm just going to go natural and rock my natural hair, because I used to. So I had only stopped because I felt like I needed to maintain a certain look to get the job that I had been after. But at this point I felt like, no, I could just do my own thing and be myself. So I decided to go all in, and I started researching going natural and the whole thing, and I got sparked and said, you know what, I'm gonna chop my hair off and I'm gonna do this. So I did. I chopped my hair off and I went natural, and there I was in my apartment watching all these videos, and I started to get frustrated because I was thinking to myself, why is there hardly anybody on here with hair like mine? Like, come on now, I know I'm not the only one with this texture of hair. Over time I found Janelle, who at the time was, I think Black is Beautiful was her YouTube name, so I found her videos. I was sparked and excited. I think I actually found her blog before I found her YouTube channel. And of course I had found Kimay too. So I was just feeling like, man, we need some more representation. I was also noticing when I went around on blogs, there just wasn't a lot of 4C representation, and a couple of the major sites didn't even list 4C as an option. It went to 4A, and then it was like, hey, I don't see myself described in this, and 4C wasn't there. And later on that changed, you know, because more people started speaking up about the need to recognize this hair type. So anyway, I jumped in head first and fully committed. My background is in marketing, and so my thought process was, you know, I'm at a point in my life where I just want to be me. Unfiltered. I'm not trying to please nobody else. I am just trying to understand who I am and really be happy in that. And so I started 4cHairChick as a way to show other women with kinky hair that, hey, we're out here. Hey girl, it's all good. Do you, be you. It's fine. Don't let anyone tell you your hair's not pretty. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do certain styles. It may take some more effort, but you could figure it out. The intention was to start a movement where it was just all about accepting who you are and recognizing that if you have this type of hair, that doesn't make you ugly, that doesn't mean your hair is difficult. That's just the type of hair you have, and you should celebrate it, and it's beautiful. So that's really how 4cHairChick started. It started from a place of confidence, you know, and for me, for my life journey, it was the first time in my life where I was totally ready to embrace who I was, and I didn't feel the need to attach myself to any job, to any person, to any other thing to pull myself up. It was all about me understanding, accepting, and believing that I am enough as I am, and me starting to celebrate who I was. And so 4C hair is me. I can't change it. I don't want to change it. I like it. This is how I rock it. This is what I do. And that was where everything started to evolve from. Because I had a degree in marketing, because I had been working in marketing for quite some time, I knew what I needed to do in order to start getting the message out to more people. So I did those things. And literally in a year, 4cHairChick went from obscurity to everywhere. I was getting invited to speak at things. I was meeting women when I was out who were like, oh my gosh, thank you for your channel. It just was, wow, you know, it was wild. But at the core of all of that, what really kicked off 4cHairChick becoming 4cHairChick, it was this decision to embrace what I had naturally. And for me, it was bigger than just hair. It was just globally across the board, shedding everything that had lowered my self-esteem, shedding the things that I was struggling with from a confidence and esteem perspective, and just really embracing this journey to loving myself totally as I was without changing anything. So if you find yourself at a place right now where you are attached to a lot of things And one way to know if you are attached to a lot of things is if you are constantly talking about your job, you're constantly talking about who you work for, what you do. If things are what make you feel worth it, that's when you can kind of start to dig in and really ask yourself, do I feel like I'm good enough on my own? Am I good enough if I'm not the senior manager at XYZ company? Am I good enough if I'm not friends with such and such? Am I good enough if I'm not working on such and such project? If these things, people, places that you're dealing with become how you show others that you're worthy, then it's time to really do some reflection, because none of that is really relevant to your worth. What really matters is you. How do you feel? What makes you feel good? What is the special sauce that you bring to the party? And whatever that is, once you know it and you find it and you identify it, bring that. Connect with people because you can add value to their lives. Don't connect with people because you want their life or their value to uplift yours. It's okay to connect with people because you want to learn from them and because, you know, there's something to be gained from that interaction. But just remember, you also have to bring something to the table. It's not just about you taking from them. I have a situation right now where I have a business coach, and I know that he gets satisfaction out of seeing me grow. And I know that our conversations also help him in a way because they help him look at his business and the people he works with in different ways. And I'm walking out of that situation with so much wisdom, and I have so much gratitude, and I'm so thankful because he makes me make better decisions, and the decisions he's helping me with are life-changing decisions. And so I get so much out of the relationship, but I also know he gets something out of the relationship, and I respect the relationship. You know, I go out of my way to make sure he knows how much I appreciate everything that he's sowing into me, and I do what I'm asked. I'm a ready, willing, and able learner, you know, in that relationship. I've had other relationships that aren't so healthy where I show up every day and I'm tired. I just feel like I'm giving, and I'm not getting anything back. The person is so eager to take everything, but whenever I want something or I need something, there's no priority given to it. And I've come to be able to look across my life and see when that's happening and make a conscious decision on, do I want to be here or do I want to be somewhere else? Is this really helping me? Is this really adding value to my life? And am I adding value to their life? So I've gotten better about asking myself, what is the value exchange in this relationship? And that helps me stay in the right relationships. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm rambling at this point or not, so I guess I'll sum it up. But yeah, so the quote that I read in the beginning, I'll share with you one more time. When you don't think you're good enough, you will find people who are and attach yourself to them. And so the lesson I want you to walk away from this conversation with is, take inventory of whether or not you are attaching yourself to other people and things. And then, if you are, start to really get in touch with who you are so that you can discover your sense of worth and revel in that. Don't seek validation from others. Just be enough for yourself, and you'll be enough for everyone.